In this video, I'm going to share with you how I made my first $10,000 online. So as you can see on my screen right now, you can see proof of payment that it's all money I have made myself with my business. Now I've also included some pictures of me during my everyday life. That way you can see I'm not just some random guy in his mother's basement making videos about stuff he doesn't understand. Now let's move on. I actually have a gift for you. When we get to 30,000 YouTube subs, I'm going to be giving away $2,000. All you need to do to win that money is simply to watch the video until the end, to subscribe, and to share it with a friend. So initially, I tried all the online popular business models you can think of. I tried dropshipping when I was in high school. So with one of my friends at the time, I spent weeks spying on the competition's top performing Facebook ads to find a winning product. If you don't know about dropshipping, you basically have to find a cool, trendy product, for example fidget spinners or rose bears, and then you resell that product on your own Shopify store and you keep some of the profits. And whenever a customer buys from you, you don't have to do the shipping yourself. It's done directly from AliExpress. So it's a pretty risk-free way to do e-commerce, or at least it's not nearly as risky as building an actual e-commerce brand, because you would need to come up with at least $50,000 just to get started, with no guarantee of actually making it profitable and getting a return on your investment. But so the problem was, we made one sale 30 minutes after launching our first ad campaign. So I put this here just so that you can see. That was the screenshot I took. So as you can see, one order and 49 euros, which was about $50 at the time. And as you can see with my friend of the time, he was going crazy. So because I made the ad campaign, I launched it, and then I was like 17, I was still in high school. I think, yeah, probably around that, 17 to 18, something like that. And so because I was 17, I was still in high school. And so I launched the ad campaign. I didn't expect anything at all. I didn't even believe in dropshipping as a business model, because I figured just to make $10,000 per month, we'd need so many goddamn sales, it would be horrible. But my friend wanted to try it, I too, and deep down, I kind of hoped we'd still succeed with this business model. And so I went to the living room to have dinner with my parents, and I remember it was like a summer evening. As you can see, like the sale was at about 7 p.m. And the guy tells me, dude, come here, somebody bought the product. He's like, and I'm like, what? And he says, can we call? Oh my god, somebody bought the product. Oh my god, I can't believe it. But you know what I mean, he's swearing. And so as you can see, I took a picture with my phone of my computer and I sent it to him. Like, I couldn't even believe it. So I just look at my screen and there, this thing that you can see, it's somebody who bought the product. The other one, it was people checking out. So one person checked out, one person bought the product. Because sometimes people would check out but not buy. They would just abandon the cart halfway through. And so as you can see, 50 euros, we made one sale. And I don't know if you can see it. Can you see the tiny dot right here in the same color as this, like the clear blue kind of thing? Well, that's basically the location of the person. And as you can see, I took a picture of the dashboard, 16% conversion rate, I think. One sale and 6 people visited the page. So that was crazy. Now you may think, well, that sounds amazing. I mean, come on, did you keep doing it? Of course we did, but we lost thousands of dollars. We didn't make a single profit. So I think we lost close to about $3,500. Now later on we tried dropshipping with organic marketing and we managed to make 100 euros in just a few days, I think 3 days. So it's about $100. Maybe slightly less, slightly more actually, because euro is worth more than dollars. But the thing is, I knew that like just to make a decent income, even just 2K per month, we'd need hundreds of sales. So it wasn't sustainable. And so we gave up on that business model because it was so difficult and we barely had any money. Like we spent all our savings just to try to make this work. And in the end, we only got one sale. So I tried dropshipping, didn't work. I tried like doing freelancing services or whatever on Fiverr and platforms, like similar platforms. But I would just list my service and then nobody would even see it. Because these platforms, they typically show customers only the best, the top service providers. So it's like, they don't work. I tried selling low ticket products and online courses, but like I had people visiting my website, but nobody was buying. And the reason why nobody was buying, it's also because I wasn't getting enough visibility. So for example, I would get 100 people to view my sales page. So 100 people viewed my sales page. But then typically only 0.2% of people actually become paying customers. And so if you get 100 views only on your page, then you don't even get one client. It's 0.0 something. So what happened is that I kept at it for I think a year, and during 1 year I made $1,100, I think slightly less than that, through 1 year of hard work. So I guess that was my first bigger success in the world of online business, but I didn't have enough visibility to make this work. So unless you've got a big audience, forget about selling low ticket products, even if they're digital products. Then there's affiliate marketing. That, the problem is, same thing, you need a crazy budget for paid ads, or you need a big audience, otherwise it doesn't work. Now there's reselling stuff on eBay, but the problem is, if you do that, it's not a real business. At best, you'd be making a few extra $100 per month or per year. I know somebody personally who was reselling old clothes on Vinted, and they were making about 1.5k per year extra. So it's nice, but first, it wasn't really profit because they would resell old clothes. So technically speaking, they lost money. They just lost less of it. So forget about this unless you just want to make a few $100 extra per month or per year. If you want to make 10k per month or more, you need a real business. And then there's Amazon FBA, which is very similar to dropshipping, but it's actually even worse. And the reason it's worse is because with dropshipping at least, you don't have to pay for products and inventory up front, but with Amazon FBA, you do. Meaning you need at least, honestly, 5k to 10k to invest in starting that business just to be able to buy upfront inventory. But then you've got no guarantee of it actually selling. So for that reason, Amazon FBA is not a good business model unless you're selling a great product which is in extremely high demand and you can invest at least 10 grand upfront in your business. And so I noticed that you could sell high ticket services and coaching, and I completely fell in love with the idea for a few reasons. So let me share the reasons with you. The first reason is that you charge high prices, meaning you make a lot of money. So you charge at least $1,000 per customer, and it can go up to $10,000 per client. If you sell a service, it can be monthly recurring. Some coaching offers are even monthly recurring. But the average is typically between $1,000 to $5,000. So if you wanted to make 10k per month, let's go here, we have some space to do the math. The goal is, let's say, 10,000, as you can see. Yeah, 10,000. If you sold an offer for $1,000, you only need 10 customers. If you sold an offer for $2,000, you only need 5 customers. And if you get 10, you just made 20k. And you can make that per month. Whereas if you were to sell some kind of low ticket $50 product, you need 200 sales to make 10k. So it's a lot of sales. Now some people think, well, surely it's easier to convince more people to pay a less expensive price. But that is not the case. Because people who are not willing to even spend $1 in their education or in solving a problem that they have, they're not good customers anyway. But typically, people who are willing to pay $1,000 for something, they're usually willing to pay $2,000 for the same thing. Because the problem that they're facing is extremely painful and they need somebody to help them to just get rid of this problem. So not only you make a lot of money, you only need 1 or 2 customers to quit your job, but on top of that, people who pay more, they're more committed. They're just better customers to work with. Because even if you sold lots of low ticket products, the amount of people who would bother you for pretty much nothing, for BS, they would want to get refunds for no reason. Like honestly, it's a nightmare to deal with. The amount of customer support tickets you'd have to answer to every single day, it's just not worth it. At least if you're working at this alone and unless you're making dozens of millions of dollars per year, in my humble opinion. So originally, I started by selling lead generation services to business owners in 2022. And then I moved on to coaching only. So as you can see, they're actually YouTube videos. If you take a look at the first videos I posted on my YouTube channel, these, I think it's not the same video, but it's 2 different videos that I posted on this YouTube channel. And so they're typically video sales letters in which I explain to my prospects, so at the time business owners, how I could help them. So as you can see, on the date of the recording, it was September 9, 2022. And this one, I think it was in December of 2022, or the opposite, maybe. And so as you can see, I showed my screen and I was showing people like, look, we've got these leads coming from, as you can see, like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Some people booked a call. Here you could see the same thing. Some people booked a call, like we had a call every single day at least, as you can see here. And so at first, I didn't know how to book calls or to do anything like that, but I mastered that skill. And then, like I said, I transitioned to coaching only because that's personally what I wanted to do from the start. But I figured at first I'd start with services. And so There is a simple no BS process I used, and I'm still using it today, like right now as we're talking. It's still the same process I was utilizing back then that I'm literally utilizing today. So there's 7 steps, and I'm going to break down everything for you. That way, all you've got to do if you're serious about making money is just to copy what I've done. And then the harder you work on it, the faster you can get results. So let's dive in. The first thing is you want to pick a painful problem to solve for people. So I put a few examples here. For example, somebody is overweight, they want to lose weight. Somebody's addicted to alcohol, they want to quit. Somebody's lonely and they want to find dates. Somebody is not productive and they want to increase productivity. And a business wants to get more leads and more customers. So as long as you can pick a painful problem, doesn't have to be these specifically, it can be completely different things. Like for example, I think I have a few customers who do, I think it's not just life coaching, but there's people who do emotional coaching. So they help people to not let their emotions ruin their lives anymore. So if it sounds crazy to you, people pay a lot of money for these kinds of services. Because as long as you solve, like I said, a painful problem, that's the key, you charge thousands of dollars for it because it's priceless. If you can help somebody to get rid of an alcohol addiction, if you can help somebody who's lonely to find dates, or if let's say in the past you lost weight and now you're fit, if you can help somebody who's overweight, they've been struggling with weight loss for years, and if they work with you in like a few weeks, they just lose the weight and everything's better, it's worth a lot of money. I mean, it's worth way more than $3,000, for example. Then after that, we've got selling only one offer to one client avatar. Because the thing is, when I was doing my lead generation service, I was speaking only to business owners, so not people who wanted to start businesses. But what I noticed on these calls, I'd gather a lot of feedback, a lot of data from the market, is that lots of business owners who were selling multiple offers to different types of people, they were the ones only making a few $1,000s per month, and lots of them weren't even making any money. So they started their business, they had been working on it for months, even for a year sometimes, and they were still at $0 per month. Why? Because they were trying to work with solar companies and roofers and like dentists and real estate agents all at the same time. So typically when you just get started, it's best to sell one offer to one client avatar. And it's even simpler if you do coaching because you help people who are overweight to lose weight. Simple. That's it. Now in the future, you can also offer coaching and services and have different offers. But right now, do not overcomplicate everything. Just sell one offer to one client avatar. That's all you need to go from 0 to 10K per month and even 100K per month. I mean, as we're speaking, I'm in the process of scaling my own business to 100K per month. I just have one offer and one specific type of customer avatar. Now moving on to the third step, traffic. What I really want you to understand is that in today's economy, it's not about getting the best products out there or anything like that. It's about the one who gets the most traffic makes the most money. That means that right now, the harsh truth is that some of your competition, they make far more money than you, not because they're smarter than you, not because they work harder, not because they provide better services or better products, but because they get more traffic, more visibility, more attention. So to get traffic, we do a couple different things. We use social media content, and then we use an appointment setting method. We'll talk about that a bit later. But when it comes to social media content, what you need to understand is that making social media content is literally free advertising for businesses. I make these videos because it's free advertising for my business in full transparency. And the advantage of making a video is that if it gets 200 views, it gets 800 views, 1,000 views, 2,000 views. It's 2,000 potential customers who view my offer. If you wanted to reach out manually to everyone, you'd have to send hundreds and thousands of messages. So you can't compete with the person who's making content because they get more traffic than you do. Now, step number 4, it's sales. You need to do sales calls. If you're too scared to do sales calls, I feel you. My first sales call ever, I was so scared. My heart was beating so fast in my chest. I genuinely felt like I was going to have a heart attack. I'm not even joking. That's how anxious and scared I was. And to be fully honest with you, I used to be so anxious and scared. For months in my past, when I was younger, I couldn't leave my parents' house. So when I say younger, I wasn't 12. I was like, I don't remember, I was 18, 19, and I couldn't even leave the house just to go for a walk in the neighborhood because I was scared. I had so much anxiety because of traumatic events from my past. So if I was the guy who couldn't even leave his house, call his hairdresser to book an appointment, and I went from doing that to taking sales calls effortlessly and conducting hundreds of them by now, What makes you think you couldn't do the same and that you couldn't even do better than me? So just to show you, as you can see, that was in my Gmail. And as you can see, new event, new event. As you can see, new event, new event, new event, new event, new event. Those are all new sales calls directly booked in my calendar. And as you can see, they're on the same days. So 1, 2, 3, 4 sales calls booked just this day alone. And then that's funny because I remember I took this picture and there's so many more. I just didn't take a screenshot every time because at some point, like, whether you believe it or not, I'm past that. I'm showing you the truth. But as you can see, I woke up one morning and it happened more than just once, but I would see new event, new event, new event, new event, new event. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 new events booked after waking up one morning. So all while I was asleep. I think I was sleeping because I was going to sleep so early. I was in bed. I was having dinner or whatever. I wasn't in front of my computer working. And as you can see, like, we keep booking calls all the goddamn time. So I went from not knowing how to do it to booking so many calls effortlessly. All of that because of the method I share with you, and most importantly, getting more traffic, making content. Because what you've got to understand is that in business, you're going to have to evolve into a different version of yourself. Who I was when I got started wasn't the same person as this guy who was actually starting to see some success in his business. And this guy that you can see here, just look at my face. You can see I'm way younger. You can see I'm different. And look at this guy. Do you notice a difference? Just look even at my face right now. Even from these pictures, there's a difference, a slight difference. That's because every time I had to evolve into a different version of myself. And it's funny because I think you can see the changes physically as well when you change into a different version of yourself. Now, the step after that is pricing. You do not want to charge $100. Do not be a clown. Experts are expensive. Because if right now I told you, okay, I can share with you, let's say I'm talking to a business and I told them, I can help you to make an extra $10,000 per month, like in monthly recurring revenue. And how much I'm going to charge you, it's $100 per month. Would you believe me? Would you believe I'm capable of making you $10,000 per month extra? Of course you wouldn't. You'd laugh in my face. I have people who pitch me every single day in my DMs, in my emails, whatever. And sometimes I saw, like, it was the profile picture of a kid who was all skinny and he looked a bit sick, and he was from a third world country, and he told me he could make me $50,000 per month extra. But it's pretty clear from his profile, he was at $0 per month. And maybe that's me judging, but honestly, I've spoken to so many people now, I can see patterns. So if you charge $100 per month, you're being a clown. People are not going to take you seriously. Remember, we fix extremely painful problems for people, and that's why we can charge on average, like I said, $1,000 to $5,000. Because what is it worth if you help somebody to make $10K per month? It's worth a lot of money. If I could guarantee right now that you'd make $10K to $30K per month, like it's guaranteed, it's a law in the universe or whatever, would you not come up with $5,000, even $10,000 to buy my offer, for example? Of course you would. Now that's just an example. That's not my offer directly. But if you can help somebody to find more dates or anything, I know people who sell offers in coaching, like in dating, for over $4,000 to help people to get better at dating, to get more dates. Literally. So, like, there are no limits. You can do anything. So do not charge $100. Do not be a clown. Experts are expensive. Remember that. Now, number 6, appointment setting for scale. So what do I mean exactly? When you make content, not everybody who watches your videos or sees your content is going to book a call directly, which is why if you want to scale to an even crazier level, you want to do appointment setting. At first you do it yourself, but then you can hire sellers to do it for you. And they're not very expensive. But so what they do is basically, or you, if it's you, when people leave a comment or they like, or they give you their contact details, if you give them a free training, for example, you want to recontact these people, either directly on social media, for example, Instagram and TikTok, if it lets you do it, or if you have their contact information, you send them an email. And preferably, you forget about email, you send them a message on WhatsApp. Because on WhatsApp, on average, 40% of people reply. That's huge. And like about 90% of people see your messages. Whereas on the email, about 20, it's usually 15 to 25% of people open up the email, and only about 6 to 10% actually replies. 10% is a lot, so it's more likely 5%. So compared to 40% on WhatsApp messages versus 5% on email, I think it's pretty obvious that sending WhatsApp messages is better. And then you just ask people some simple questions to understand if they could actually benefit from what you've got to offer. And if they can, you want to move them to a call. And on the call, you ask them questions and you figure out whether or not you can help them. Now, step number 7 is delivery. So you can do delivery in 2 different ways. Like I said, you can offer coaching or services. And even if you have no skills, no previous experience, you can still figure out a coaching offer. Everybody's got skills and hobbies and things that you've done in the past that you could monetize in the form of coaching. I am telling you, honestly, you can. Even if you think right now that you couldn't. But let's say you really have no skills. You can't teach anything to anyone. And you don't have any skills to do a service. You can still sell any service in the world by leveraging remote contractors to do the work for you. So you partner up with freelancers, contractors, and then your job basically, it's to get a client to pay you, and then you work with the remote contractor and you give them, for example, 20% and you keep 80%. Because for the contractor, you got them a free customer. They typically struggle to get customers. So you get them a client, they make 20% more money, and you keep 80%. And the client is happy because somebody who's qualified actually does it. That's what businesses do, like businesses have employees. But you get a contractor, that way you don't have to pay them before they do any work and before you make any money. Because if you start your business the stupid way, you print some business cards, you run some ads, you get an office, you register your company legally before you even make $1. Like, that's stupid. Because what if your business fails? Now you've got to pay money to close the business, like it's stupid. And then, well, you get employees and you start paying them 1K to, let's say, 3K per month. So the amount of cost that you have if you start a business the stupid way, or I guess the old way, because 20 years ago, when the internet didn't exist, the only way you had to start a business, it was by doing this. So it wasn't stupid by any means back then. But nowadays, it is stupid. Because if you do that, it's going to cost you at least 50K to just run your business for a few months. So if you can't make it profitable, you lose 50 grand. So good luck. Now, let's be honest. If you knew how to make $10,000 plus per month online, you would have done it already. Because right now, you're not at the level you want to be because you're not executing and you're not executing on the right strategy. Which is why I have another gift for you. So you can book a free call with me and together, we'll come up with a game plan for you to get to $10,000 per month as quickly as possible. The link will be in the description below. Now, I do have to tell you that spots fill up extremely quickly, so make sure that you book your call before all the spots are taken. And with that being said, I'll see you on the other side.